Kodem Kokovo, Liahwa Kadosh Israel, Selah. Welcome back to another episode of the Spiritual Contemplations. Today we'll be talking about the power of why. Something that's been really interesting in this season is getting to know and understanding and acknowledging myself on why we do, don't do, shouldn't do, would do some things. And the more I look at it, the more it's a multivariant type of situation. It's not just like one reason. There's all these things and how all of these things are interconnected into each other, And I'll use the example of Valentine's Day since it's something that just happened. People celebrate Valentine's Day and it's become such a normal thing. But when you ask people, why do you celebrate Valentine's Day? You know, people say like, oh, just because, or and it's like, I don't know. Pretend like I don't know and explain it to me. Explain to me why you do something. And then obviously when people don't have a response, the go-to answer is, why does it matter? And I think it's a convenient answer, but also it says a lot about society today. We do things and it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. This is all because it feels good, because people said to do it. Or for more intimate things, people say things like, oh, this is how it's always been. The question still stands, why? Why has it always been that way? Why do people do this? Why do people say this, wear this, eat this, drink this? Why? I think it's important to understand mm, the power of why you do what you do. Because I think if you know why, then there's power in it, because you know why you're doing something. There's intentionality in doing it. It's not just because somebody told you to wear this, just because somebody told you to eat this. If you know why, you can be intentional about it. But I think another level of knowing why is you're now able to improve whatever it is that you're supposedly doing, eating, saying, drinking, the whole shebang. You know, I think we got into a place where if you ask people why they do, I would speculate up to 60% of the things that they do, eat, wear, dress, say, is because it's the social norm. But you realize a social norm has nothing to do with Yah. And you realize all the things that people are doing in society, in just in and out day to day behaviors, they aren't rooted in anything righteous, anything Yah related, anything life giving to some point. And when you yourself go and start to look into the reasons why we celebrate, the reasons why we say these things, the reason why we wear these things, eat these things, drink these things, do these things, it has nothing to do with what you think it's about. When you look at Easter and people tell you it's something about Jesus, and then you look it up, he's like, okay, let's say this did have something to do with Jesus. What? Why does the history of this have nothing to do with anything Jesus or Yeshua related? And I was thinking about this last night as I was going home. I was just riding my motorcycle, just just deep thoughts at night. And I found it very interesting how none of the none of the attributes, the holy days or the holidays, the names, the language, the history, the traditions, none of it regarding Christianity, which is primarily around Christ, have anything to do with Yah. Like, maybe I'm crazy, but it to me it would make sense for everything revolving around Yeshua, Jesus, would be revolving around Yah, since he revolved himself around Yah. But the more you research it, the more you see, and the more you read, it has everything to do with Roman culture, which is a total opposite to everything Yah culture. It's like if you had the anti-life equation, that would be the complete opposite, the life equation, you know? And those two are complete opposites. So to say the anti-life equation is life equation and everything in the life equation is based off the anti-ya equation, you realize you're just serving an anti-ya, you know? And to me, that's interesting because when you ask people the why, they don't know. You know, I find it really interesting how the more you talk to Christians, the more you realize no one knows why they're doing something. They're just doing it because it was told to them. And whenever someone rebels or start asking practical questions, they're always told, just believe you're a sinner, you're going to hell, you don't know, you're going to hell. You know, and I think that that fear keeps people from asking questions, from thinking about things in depthly and going, why do we do this? You know, Jesus said to do it. Why did he say to do it? What was the significance in doing it? Because I think if you understand the why, you can understand the significance. It's why, like, in our community, in our culture, we always say you got to know why you're doing something. You know, you have to want to be a Hebrew. It's not about like somebody told you to be a Hebrew, so you're a Hebrew. No, I think being a Hebrew is a day in and day out choice of how you're going to live your life, and it's rooted. It's rooted in the practicality of the things that you do every single day. You know, it's not a generality. It's rooted in okay. Today, Yatzileo did X, Y, and Z. Very Hebrew-like. Today, Yatzileo did X, Y, and Z. Not very Hebrew-like. You know, you made some choices that day, my boy. Good or bad, there's consequences to go along with them, but that's the reality of it. You know, it's a choice, it's a day in and day out choice. But when you don't know why you're doing something, you just follow rules. You know, when you look at things like The Matrix, things like George Orwell's 1984, you realize the world's a lot closer to that than you think. You know, we live in a society where people don't ask questions. People just do because they're being told what to do. Look at COVID for an example. They said take the vaccine, took the vaccine. You know, they said take the booster shot, they took the booster shot. They take another vaccine, take another vaccine, take another booster shot, take another booster shot. No one asked, why am I taking a vaccine if the the disease isn't cured once I take the vaccine? Break that one down for me. Explain to me why. Because for every other disease, you get the vaccine, you supposedly don't get the disease or you're cured from the disease. But if you give me a vaccine to a disease that I take, I don't ask questions, but I don't get cured, wouldn't you want to know why the cure doesn't work? And when you look at the why of it, you realize, this has nothing to do with my health. Nothing. That's the why of it, you know? But you can only get that if you ask the questions. You can only get that if you find power in knowing why you do what you do. But I don't think you can be like that and be very like one-dimensional about it. That's the flip side to it to some degree. You know, the second you start asking why, you look at everything. You know, you look at the food in the supermarkets, you look at, the transportation, you look at the medical industry, you look at how all these things are interconnected, and you start asking why. If a system is built, if a system is built, there's a reason for that system to be built. There's a why of it. There's a why. But once you realize that the why has nothing to do with whatever they're selling you on, it makes you realize, or it makes you think, one, why would I participate in this? And two, what else is there out there? What else is out there? What else is out there? Yeah, I said that right. I'm crazy, isn't it? But what else is out there? And is there something out there that the why of it is geared towards my betterment, spiritually, physically, emotionally, you know? And when you, I think one of the coolest things that we were given, as children in our community, is we know why we do everything, You might not like it. Everything's not always sunshine and rainbows, but you know why you do it. And in today's society, that that matters a lot more than just being able to say, "Oh, I do this." Because people ask you, "Oh, you vegan? Great. Why?" I think when people's why is all flaky, I'm like, "You vegan for some interesting reasons." You know, I'm not here to judge, but it's interesting. But when you know why you're vegan, why you wear this, why you eat this, why you say this, why you keep the Shabbat, like people, they just do and they do and they do and they do, but nobody knows why. Why do you celebrate Christmas? What's the history of Christmas? When you look at the history of Christmas, explain to me how your why of celebrating Christmas correlates with that. Easter, Thanksgiving, Halloween, for the life of me, I can't get that one. The why of it. And show me how that correlates to what you believe in. But you start to have to question what you believe in, because you realize the things you believed in aren't based off of or aren't based in the things that you thought they were. And the why of it is just as corrupted as the things it's telling you to do, you know? And that, what Jordan Peterson say, the road to enlightenment is seldom trodden. Because 9 times out of 10, it leads you down to hell. And hell is that place that's unknown, that place where you have to now internalize everything and go, everything isn't the way I thought it was. Maybe I'm not the way I thought I am. Maybe I'm not the way I thought I was. And you start to realize the things I eat, the things I say, the things I wear, the things I listen to, the things I do every day is not based in the why that I thought it was. You know? Like the church said they want the best for you, but how come they don't tell you that pork is killing you? Like the Sunday brunch, selling you pork, they're giving you pork. The why of it, why? And you realize the why isn't based in truth, righteousness, but more so it isn't based in life. And if it isn't based in life, it's only based in one other thing. And I think the hard part is realizing you're wrapped up in a system that's based in that thing. And you have to move yourself from the system. And the reason people don't do that, and the reason that's hard to do, is because people are very comfortable closing their eyes and pretending the monster doesn't exist. They would rather just take the vaccine. They would rather just go to the hospital, whatever the doctor says. I don't want to have to think about it. I don't want to have to look into it. I don't want to have to look into what the government's saying. Just, they want to believe ignorance is bliss. And the unfortunate side of asking why is, once you know, you can never go back. It's the concept of getting unplugged out of the matrix. Once you see it, is, yeah, the cognitive dissonance. You can't just go back to pretending life is the same, because it isn't. Once you realize the effects of eating things, drinking things, saying things, listening to things. Now, granted, we all have our ups and downs, personal battles, but you do know, and something my family always say is, you can't say I didn't tell you. You can't say you didn't know. And that's because once you know, you start asking why. It's I think if anybody give you information and they don't tell you why, it's a bit shaky. You should take that with a grain of salt. Because any amount of valuable information comes with the explanation of why. You know, if my girlfriend, shout out to my girlfriend, asks me something, and then she asks why, I can't be like, don't ask me why. I'm a man. What's wrong with you? Is it because you don't want to say why, or because there's no why? Like, just now, there's something afoot. I always say something's afoot. But when you realize that to every rational, reasonable thing, there's a reason why. There's a reason why I'm vegan. There's a reason why I don't eat on the Shabbat. There's a reason why, I wear the things I wear and say the things I say, do the things I do. There's a reason behind all of it. And if those reasons aren't based in truth, righteousness, and Yah, which ultimately means life, who are you kidding yourself saying, oh, I want to live? Just if nothing matters, if the why of it doesn't matter, we should all get on the tallest building we can find and jump off. Because the only thing we're doing is prolonging the inevitable. And that might sound harsh, but the truth is, if you're living your life that's geared towards one direction, why go through the, tit for tat and little roundabout? Just if that's not the goal. But if your goal is to live your life in a certain type of way, that means things matter. And when things matter, you have to now orient your life to be around the things that matter to you. You know, you can't be fit and say, I want to be fit and eat donuts all day. I'm sorry. Your your life isn't oriented towards where you think it is. And if I ask you why you want to be fit and it's so you can eat donuts, your why is a bit off, isn't it? You know? Because there's way more to life than eating donuts. And I think it's up to us to figure out why, like the real big why is why are we here? Figuring out our own purpose, figuring out our own journey and venturing off on that and figuring out what's the greatest amount of value we can bring to the world. But I think the first step is, why do you want to bring that value? What is it? What is it about that? And it's something from within, it's something given to you, you experienced whatever. But that's the essence of it. And I think once we know why we doing something, you can again increase how you do it. You can increase the efficiency. Improve, you can improve it, at one level or another. You can improve it because you know why you're doing it. You know why this is special. You know why this is valuable. You know why you do it. Eat it, say it, drink it, wear it, like all of it. You know why. If you know why, then it matters. And if it matters, then you can improve it. And you can also be very, very intentional about it. And I know that's hard. Trust me. I know it's hard, but it's also meaningful. I think when we know the why, we can get to the meaning behind it. And when the meaning behind it matches our intentionality, shout out to my other video. No, you can start living your life the way you want to. And I think when we live life like that, and not even you want to, a life that's, I don't know, a Yah centered life. But I think if Yah is at the center of these decisions, you know, you can eliminate some of the pitfalls that go along with them. Like if you follow the laws, if you follow like the 10 commandments, you don't have to worry about the consequences or the fallout of what happens if you don't. If you just do them, if you eat a good diet and you have your health as a priority in all aspects of life, you don't have to worry about, man, how am I going to start recovering? You're not going to get sick. You don't have to worry about recovering from a sickness if your entire lifestyle is built around preventing you from being sick to begin with. And I think if we can live life like that, it'll eliminate some of the harshness that we experience in the world. And I think the first way to doing that, the first step in doing that is figuring out why and questioning why you do what you do. And is that aligned with the type of lifestyle you want? And once you go down that path, you start to be more intentional with every aspect of your life because Everything matters because there's a reason why you do everything you do. Yeah. I hope this makes sense. If not, you can comment below and I can go deeper into different aspects of it. Please let me know. It's something I think about a lot. So yeah, I'm dying to share. Well, not dying. Calm down. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm living to share in it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please subscribe. If you want to stay notified, hit the notification button. And yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments what you think, what your thoughts are. I'm gonna cut this up into little clips so y'all could like see it on social media and stuff. Anyway, have a y'all blessed day. Y'all kai.